regular council of the village of Armada will now come to order. Will everyone stand for a pledge of allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
Wallach.
Here.
Ballard.
Yep.
Elke.
Whatever his name is, yes.
No, well, I was gonna say Suds, but he's just pulling everything.
All right, approval of the agenda. What's the council's wish, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported by Ballard and Shaw. Any further discussion, please? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Floor is open now at this time for citizen comments. 3 minutes, state your name for the record, and you can address the council.
She's under.
They're all up there.
Presentations.
Well, they're eating them elephant ears,
God
we're not
bless
good for them. Okay,
Stay away from that.
next presentation, we have the Four County Community Foundation President. She'll introduce herself to our council. Okay, you're welcome.
I'd be happy to introduce myself. My name is Kathy Diggins, the new Executive Director with the Four County Community Foundation. As our lighthearted chit chat before your meeting started, I come from Huron County. I'm a 30-year K-12 administrative veteran, and so I've been pretty much at every level of K-12 education. And I served on the Huron County Community Foundation Board. And so my work with the foundation, I was very familiar with it and really enjoyed it. And thought, well, you know, I want another 30-year career. What will that be? And so I landed upon community foundation work. So I've been with the foundation since March, starting part-time and now full-time. Really, really enjoying the work. The area is much like Huron County in many ways, small town environment, lots of great people serving with all of their heart and all of their might, just like for people around this table. I know how much you, well, I like to think I know how much you do and how much you volunteer, and you wear many hats, you do many things, most of which, 90% of the work goes kind of unknown or untold or unspoken of, and yet you continue to do the work. So I'm grateful for what you do and your commitment to your village here. And did a little shopping while I was here, and certainly like the little storefronts that you have going on. It was our pleasure to receive a grant request at the Four County Community Foundation to support your 150th year celebration. And have a little period music to go along with your festivities. And well, it's with great pleasure that we award $3,000, I believe, is what we awarded for one of the bands at least. And that is terrific. Keep the heritage of your community going strong, and invite people to partake of what your area has to offer. So I would encourage you to reach out again if you have other festivities or other village improvements. The Community Foundation, you likely know all of this, you're likely experts, but I'll say just a little bit. We service Elmont, Inlay City, Dryden, Metamora, and Armada, and Oxford, and Washington Township, Romeo. We have a really big footprint. And so it's kind of hard to get our name known and recognized because we are in a building off the main drag in Elmont. Please remember that we're there. Please take my card if you would. I think I brought plenty. If you would take one and pass it around. And hopefully they're all mine. I just found a card of someone else. I don't want to advertise anyone else's wares. But we have quarterly grant cycles where we request and eagerly read grants. The grant for your festival was very, very well written by Mr., I hope I get this right, Elke. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
Nailed
first
it.
time.
All right, brownie point for me. I worked under Wayne Delkey in Wausau Public Schools for a while, so the name is elsewhere. Can't
Spelled the same
remember.
way?
I think it was. So quarterly we do grant and we do scholarships, of course. So every year we invest back into the community around $400,000 in grants, if not more, and about $250,000 in scholarships to high school students and actually college students as well. So if you have anybody that has an interest in anything that is village-related, school-related, send them to our website. And if you would do me a huge favor, our website is on there and we're undertaking a survey. It takes 10 minutes. And I'll speak to that really briefly. I have a 13-member board for our foundation, and we decided we wanted to do a survey all of the different areas that we service and ask you what's important to you. Where should we channel the funds that we have? And so I'd very much like you to take that. It takes about 10 minutes. I'm not so sure I have a lot of respondents yet from your neck of the woods. So if you would take it, have your spouses, your aunts, your uncles, your nieces, nephews, whomever, your neighbors, take it and just make sure that we know what your needs are and how we can best spend the money that was invested in us for your area.
What's your web address for the camera, that way? the
Oh,
people-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is www.4ccf.org. And so that would be terrific. Tomorrow I'll be looking on Qualtrics, which is the site, and I'll be looking for a big boom in Armada survey takers. I'll measure that.
It's a fair, it may take an extra day.
Oh,
Yeah, it might take a couple extra days because of the fair.
Kathy, if I can ask,
Sure.
because we've asked Kathy to put a table at our street fair when we have it for the Susquehanna Centennial, and I think you're planning to do that. I don't know what the window of your survey is. That may be a good opportunity
Sure.
to put out a paper survey, and then you just have somebody code it in if you've got people at
Sure.
every time.
We'll consider that, or get a QR code and people can kind of scan it with their phone and
That-
take it at their leisure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I bet you get a lot of inputs from that alone.
It's a great idea. I will do that. Thank you for the suggestion.
I have a question.
Sure.
You mentioned that the $3,000 would cover a band. Are we limited to using the grant just for bands?
That was the
That's
application.
what I wrote
Okay.
it for.
All right.
So we've got, we'll talk about it after Kathy's done, but we've got 2 different bands, one on each day, old style period music, dressed in the outfits of the time, and so on. So that's what we primarily wanted to put it to, because those are really anchor events for those 2 days.
Okay.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out.
Thanks for braving the traffic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We
Shouldn't be
just-
too bad going back.
It's a little
Well, I
different than here on county traffic. There was no bee harvesters
Yep.
or manure wagons.
That's right.
I didn't run into
Yeah,
any.
that's right. Or Amish. It's further up you get, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but don't go any further over to the east, you may encounter something.
Yeah.
I told Kathy, make sure she comes in from the north, and that would keep her kind of clear of the traffic.
Yeah, well, if you're coming from Yale, that's the easiest way. Yep.
Exactly. Very good. All right, well, everybody have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
Thanks again for coming, Kathy.
Absolutely.
Our
Anytime.
pleasure, our
Congratulations.
pleasure to have you.
We'll be talking again.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Now, Mr. Belkey, you've got a presentation for us, sort of.
Yeah.
3 minutes? For 3 minutes?
3 minutes? Well, okay.
In his defense, these are answering Dave's questions.
We'll see what we can do, yeah. These were, what kind of responded back to some questions about what was going on. You've got a briefing packet in there. Looking at it today, I see all the punctuation I missed and other stuff. So if something seems out of place, make sure to ask me. Really don't want to read it line by line, but just a few things. First page is, on the cover page, it says D minus 2 months. So we're really at about 2 months now before the event to get all the rest of the planning financials, and organization done. Next page. We talked about this before. This is a major milestone event in the history of this village, and we would just be, we'd be a bunch of, we would be remiss if we missed it, so we don't want to miss it, okay? You hear some things about, well, this is the wrong date, and so on, that the village was formed. Again, the 15 October 1869 was the day the village was formally organized, and done some amount of research there, and all of the research that, and the texts and the different things that I've looked at with respect to this, and there was quite a few. The one date that keeps coming back is this 15 October as the formation of the village. That's, you know, that was Mara's predecessor as president of the board, postmaster, dog catcher, constable, trustees, and so on. The village was organized. The village was incorporated probably sometime in 1868, and that date, I think, will be known only to history. I have not found that date. There's been a couple times where I've seen different dates in different texts that I've looked at. One text will contravene the next one, and so I don't think we'll ever be really sure what the incorporation date was. There was a vote taken in 1868 in February, probably to incorporate, but it doesn't indicate that that was the official incorporation date. And it probably took them the next year through October of 1869 to get the village organized, right? People weren't rolling in here in cars. It was people in the municipality and out into the township, I'm sure, coming in to organize the village. Again, Saturday the 12th and Sunday the 13th of October are the two dates that we're going to celebrate our sesquicentennial. 15 October 2019 is 150 years. It's a Tuesday. I'll be working, I'm sure so will you guys. We've invited a lot of the surrounding community to participate, especially with respect to the business presence. We've got folks just outside in the township that are very much linked to the village in terms of their business and so on, so we don't want to exclude anybody. There's 4 broad objectives here. I don't know that anybody can really argue with these. Again, the first one is recognize and celebrate the village's organization. Want to create a sense of community pride through recognition of the village's historical past. If you don't know a lot about the village's historical past, it was really quite something in the late 1800s. You know, we had a train rolling through the village. You had the Agricultural Society and Mechanic Society working the fair and the fairgrounds. Very vibrant community. It's turned into a little bit of a sleepy bedroom community now, not quite what it used to be, but we want to recognize that history. Really would like the residents and visitors to consider what the village offers them and come to appreciate what's here and visit us often. And we'd certainly like to create an environment for the businesses in the area, especially the village, to thrive. And just as a stretch goal, you know, this may provide a springboard for something that we do every couple of years in sync with the fair. I don't know how we divorce ourselves from the fair, because without the community being here, the village setting, the fair probably wouldn't have come into existence, and without the fair growing as much as it did and having an annual event, the village probably wouldn't have thrived as much as it did. So very much a synergistic relationship. Okay, anchor and feature activities. It's getting close to Halloween, so dress up. We want you to dress up. There's going to be a street fair both days. There's a number of different...
Dress in period clothes.
In period clothes,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They didn't have vampires back then.
Pirates walking down the street.
We're not looking for, I don't know that Armada had a navy and any pirates, but who knows what you're going to get. So preferably period clothing, connected to the 150 years that the village has been in existence. Street fair, we're really looking for about 30 to 40 vendors and then some number of nonprofits to set up tables, just like we had Kathy. She's going to set up a table. They're going to advertise who they are, what they do, the grant process, and maybe she puts out some surveys so they can get some inputs. You see some of the potential nonprofits at the bottom. Talk to 4-H. 4-H really wants to come out and set up a table. That's all good stuff. And then we've got a number of businesses, and we'll see who we get through that process. The street fair is being kind of co-teamed by Justin Sabra, I believe it is, at Armada, Michigan, and Sue DeMille from ABA. So they're kind of tag team of that. On the 12th, we've got the Dodworth Saxhorn Band, and what we're primarily focused on there is a concert and a period dance. So the old time clothing would work really well there, and there's a strong indication we're going to get the 21st Michigan Infantry. It's a Civil War reenactment group out in the park, and that could potentially be 75 to 100 people camping overnight, and so that would lend itself to that. We moved the parade from Saturday to Sunday. The fairground is going to be having their winter car storage, and they looked at moving that, and they determined they really couldn't move it, and so it was good that we did move the parade from Saturday to Sunday. You're going to find a heavier presence of business types of events that they're going to put on Saturday, a little bit less on Sunday, and Sunday is the parade. So I think it balances out. On Sunday we'll have the 5th Michigan Regimental Band in the business district, and then we're going to have the commemoration ceremony, if all goes well, with some cake and ice cream hopefully, and with Marv cutting the cake. Next, we're working on it.
Can it be chocolate?
We can have chocolate for you, so at least a little piece, right? No, I think we'll have a mix. We may even have pie. We've approached Atkins about having some small pieces of pie out there. Commemoration, we're still working on that. This is a list of who we're tentatively inviting. Right now, we're working on getting the notes out to Governor Whitmer, Senator Lawyers, Representative Yarrick, County Executive Hackle, and County Commissioner Brown. I would not expect Governor Whitmer to come, but she may very well have a surrogate here. In any case, I would like her to do something out of her office that gets our name, Village of Armada, into the public record somehow, some way. She would probably do some kind of a proclamation, which would be just great. Right. We've got a number of other people that we would like to get to stand up and say a couple good things. Kathy would be a good one. They've got a lot of skin in the game now with $3,000 donation. Going to invite the township to send a representative to say nice things about the village. The Fair Board has got a committee that's working on this with me, with Ken Goike is probably leading it up, Nancy Bliss, and another gent that's a sound expert, so I can't think of his name, unfortunately.
Jim Handy?
Jim Handy.
I think so, yeah. Younger guy?
No, he works for Jim Handy.
Yeah, he's retired.
No, this is a younger guy. This
Yeah,
is
he
a-
works for Jim
She
Handy.
said he works for him.
So, oh, I got you. Marv, you gotta talk, so you gotta think of a couple nice things to say about the village. I think you could probably make that happen.
Well, I won't say it on camera.
We can write you up some.
We'll write you up some. We'd like to get ABA and the chamber to have representatives talk, and then the ceremony and a wrap up. Next chart. You guys have asked about participants. You know, in the Army we talk about personally identifiable information. That's tough to say, just like sesquicentennial. PII, personally identifiable information. I really don't want to put a bunch of names out here. I know of nobody that is working this thing with me that is not a resident or not participating in a business here. Right? So And this is a list of most of the big organizations that are participating. The chamber is participating through their membership, not a name, but with members. So again, I don't see any outside influence at all. We've had six meetings now, well attended, a lot of enthusiastic people. And just incidentally, just so you know, I've already talked to Chief Patrick. I've talked to Chief Croce is a new township fire chief. I've talked to, I've mentioned it to Ed. I've talked more to Dave on the DPW staff, because Dave says he's the guy that's going to set up the barricades and stuff like that. So those guys are all aware it's coming, and we're heeding their advice on things to do appropriately for to prepare for the activity. Funding is an important chart. I'm looking for the village to cover public safety and DPW. I think it's going to take a whole lot of time. Beyond that, I'm not asking the village for anything. Community programming was $5,100. That's where the $3,000 went to. I think that's going to go down a little bit. Because frankly, Dodworth Saxhorn is a band out of Ann Arbor. They do national stuff, so they're a little bit more high-priced. And since we're not asking them to march in the parade now, I think that cost is going to come down a little bit. $550 for Porta Johns. We've already talked to the company. I've got a draft contract with them. 2 days, drop off, pick up, no muss, no fuss, and so for $550, I've allocated about $500 to the commemoration ceremony, but that may go down given donations. And then incidentals and unknowns. I didn't mention advertising. It's about $500. We've already got 2,000 handbills that are getting passed out. The school is putting them in their fall mailings that are going to go out in preparation for the school year. So those will go out sometime this month.
Make sure you get it to me and I'll put it on Channel 6.
Perfect. I like your style there, Joe. Channel 6. And incidentals and unknowns, I just put $350 in there because I don't know what's going to come up. So I estimated about $7,000. Right now we've got the $3,000, a promissory note of that. I've sent in the paperwork, so we should get a check back on that of $3,000. The Lions have given us $250, so you can take off the not confirmed. We're still looking for 5 and 5 from the Fair Board and Chamber of Commerce. I think the Fair Board's probably in. I'm not quite sure about the Chamber at this point. ABA has put in $500 already, so they're good. Anonymous donation of $1,000, and I think we're going to make about $1,250 out of the street fair, perhaps more. So it gets us pretty close to being there. We've talked to DTE. They have no grant program right now. Semco, believe it or not, we missed the deadline for arts and humanities by just a couple days. So that's probably out, and we did hit up consumers, and they're trying to fix the rate plan, so they don't have any money. We're hitting up some other businesses in the village that have a strong presence here, but don't lend themselves well to a street fair, right? There's a wish list of some things there. I'm going to buy the flags because it's the right thing to do, and we'll see if we get money for the plaque. And I'm not here for the money. I don't think any of you guys are either. I'm going to donate my checks at least for the next 2 months to this effort, just to make sure it comes out on time. And whatever's left over, I'm putting them towards the plaque, because we need we need some bling out here in the front of the building. And then, last but not least, anybody wants to get their hands dirty, let me know. We got lots to do and not a lot of time. We really use help with parade entries. Nancy Bliss is going to come up with a piece of paper that people could fill out, but I mean, I'm stopping people that I see with old cars. Who's the guy over here with the gas station? Jimmy Gillette?
Jimmy Gullet?
Gillette? He's gonna put his Mount Clemens Speedway pace car in the parade. Anything that's old, I'm taking it. We're gonna have old tractors, old implements. 4-H is gonna parade goats up and down the street. It'll be truly Village of Armada style. Questions? Please.
Talk to Phil Kent, he and Dave always have their antique John Deere tractors in the Christmas parade.
He's getting hit from all sides now and personally, I love to hear the tractors, going up and down the street, so. We don't quite have the parade route nailed down yet, but I'm letting Nancy kind of work that, Nancy Bliss. She's got a little bit more expertise in it than I do.
I think between Marvin and me, we got the 150 years covered.
We can get
Living in town.
Hey,
Pretty close to it.
well, we can put you on the fire engines with I've already asked the chief.
No, that's okay.
He'll have fire engines in there, and it'll be a great parade, little community thing.
Well, I sold my old tractor last year, and I'm sort of sorry I sold it, but I wasn't using it, so it's,
Wish the
That
fire truck
shut
still had their
down
poker truck.
I
Man,
told the chief
that's all I want.
Yeah, that's a shame. Well, they should find that one.
Yeah.
and I sold my dad's Oliver too.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'll be here after the meeting if anybody wants to talk about anything.
All right, Ross, thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Administrative reports. Do you have anything, Steve, or?
I don't, I'm a little disappointed. I told you, we've got some changes going down at the plant. Scott is no longer with F&B. Chris is filling back in temporarily, so we do not have the report that we missed last time. It didn't make it this time either. But things have been moving along. Like I told you, the sludge was pumped out, applied, land applied. I did get a call from Doug Skyless the other day, well, actually it was a text. They have submitted their next update to the Eagle, the DEQ for SRF project we have down at the plant. So things are moving along, slow as a turtle, but it's moving. So that's all I've got right now.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Steve. General business, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of July 22nd.
Mr. President, I hate to do it to you, but if you guys aren't tired of me yet, I got a couple more.
Well, liaison, you have some more?
Yes, sir. Of course.
What did you speak of?
Because you went right over.
I'll roll through it quick. As council business liaison, I got approached about cleaning the street gutters and cleaning up the lot behind Cozy. And I've gotten with Ed, the gutters have been cleaned. He's going to try to, at least in the summer months, late spring, early fall, work a monthly clean out of all of that stuff. I got to get back with the businesses and ask the businesses to help by keeping their sidewalks clean. So I'll do that. And Cozy, kind of a win-win. I guess the folks that own Cozy and Squirrel are going to trim the vegetation. They're going to pile it all in one spot. Ed and Dave are going to bring the truck over and pick it all up. So.
With Lyle, with his streets there too now, with the West Main Street being done, I think we should have Ed or Dave take that sweeper and clean the streets up now because it's going to be officially open.
Correct.
You know, and then we'll be talking about the ribbon cutting later.
Okay, a couple more. ZBA, 3/4 of a year ago, embarked with Dennis while he was here to target 3 abandoned business signs. 2 of them have been taken down, and we finally got the attention of the 3rd guy who tried to play kinder, gentler, right, without whacking people. Finally got the attention of the 3rd guy, and that sign's coming down too. These are signs that have been up there almost as long as I've been here. I've been here since '93. These things have been up, and we'll now have them all down, and it just improves the look of the village, right? So, clearly abandoned, fluorescent tube sitting out there, no sign copy in it, so that's great to hear. Water, arsenic containment feasibility study, I'm expecting to have that wrapped up here fairly shortly, but we have cracked the code on who at the county deals with the trails and who do you talk to get permission to put stuff in the trail right away. One of our options at least looks at digging in the trail right away. And the good news is there's not a fee to do that for a municipality. So that expands the amount of options that we have for a larger arsenic containment zone. So that's good news. And of course this study is just looking at the options and which one would be recommended. Beyond that, it doesn't do anything until council says, okay, let's pick that one and go for it. Water reliability study, I do have a draft now of the water reliability study. It's got a lot of great information in it. We did things that we hadn't done in the 2012 study, such as geolocate all of our assets so that we have a GPS grid to it. That's good news, but it's also revealing some things. I don't want to go into detail right at the moment, but I think we have a problem with unbilled water, use of large amount of unbilled water, so we're kind of looking at what might contribute to that. And you know, hydrant flushing, back flushing, the water treatment plant, underground leaks, fire departments, you know, pulls out of the water tower. That's probably not a lot that they pull out of there, and so on. So we're trying to get our arms around how much. I think we know how much, and what do we do about it now at this point, right? So, and with respect to that, I did talk to the new fire chief about the water tower, the water tower lease. Remember we talked about that several months ago. They do use the water there for some other things that are not in the lease. I would agree that they should use it for those things, such as training and filling up an emergency bladder in the winter. And I would like to see the lease updated to have that in there as a use and not charge them for it. But I think on the other hand, we want to meter the water just to know how much is coming out of there. So more to follow. We want to keep this as a technical issue, not a political issue. I think it's a technical issue. So he's got a copy of the lease, he's looking it over, and I'll go back and talk to him, and then we'll bring it to the board to see what the board wants to do. Okay?
That was back in the 90s there.
Yeah.
93 or 4 or 5, something like that.
Got your name on it,
Yes.
and
I think it was a 100-year lease.
Reverend
99.
Church, Reinhardt Associates
Yeah.
at times.
I think it's a good document. It just, I think it just needs to be amended now to account for that, right? Whatever's going on there, and then last but not least,
I will have to have Jeff probably look at it somewhat.
He has it, I already sent it to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
last but not least, I bumped into Barry Grodowski, who's a guy that did a great job on the well house over here for much less than what I thought he was going to charge. And I just said, hey, you might want to take a look at the pump house in the park and see what it would cost to put windows back in that. I know that we've had people that, past commissioners have gone out, looked for people to do the work, we could find nobody to do the work. I put the original windows in there about 15 years ago, and it's tough to see the particle board sitting up over the windows now. And anyway, so he's going to put in an unsolicited proposal for consideration. I don't know what the cost is going to be. I suspect it's going to be fairly low, and then I'll leave it to Mike to decide what he wants to do now that he's got nothing to do in the park since your summer gigs are over. So good job on that.
Maybe we should look at plexiglass rather
That's
than
what we-
real.
Well, that's what he was
Oh,
saying.
really? Yeah.
I thought Ed said he could fix that, Ed Sirikowski.
Whoever does it, I think there's going to be a cost. The windows are busted out, so you got to replace the windows. And now Barry was looking at He said hurricane glass isn't that expensive, and the kids will have a hard time breaking that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would expect today, tomorrow, well, not today, tomorrow, Wednesday, he'll have that proposal in. And then I'll let you take it from there. Just, he was happy to take a look at it, and, okay, that's all I got, promise.
But also mentioning the building over there and in the park, I would like to, Mike, take a look at the sign out there. I think the sign needs to be dressed up a little bit because it looks like it's worn, you know, so.
We
What-
just
whether
paid
be-
for
We
that. to
just
get
had
done
that last year.
Yeah, Weatherby.
Yeah,
A natural always takes a beating.
Yeah, yeah.
it's right in the sun.
So if we can do something minimal, Mike, if you want to take a look at that, you know, so.
You know, when I was Parks Commissioner, we did it. We've done that sign. It's just that sun just beats the heck
Yeah,
out of it.
it may be time just to paint it with contrasting lettering or something like
Yeah,
that.
'cause it's hard
not
to read.
Try to varnish it, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what I think. Mike, you take a look at it,
Okay.
your department anyhow.
So we're taking that from-
Okay, now we're going to go to the consent agenda, the approval of the regular council meeting minutes of July 22nd. What is council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda to accept as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of, oh, no, that's already. The old business, in other words, the sewer plant, do you have anything more?
No, I think I'm all set. Thank you.
All right, then the next is West Main Street, Mr. Ballard's department, please.
Well, I see that the street has been opened. We still have some issues down there that we are addressing. One of them is the guardrail up by the bridge, where the project ended, not the culvert, but the bridge. And I've got a call in to the engineer, the design engineer on that. He's gonna take a look at that and get back with us. And also, we have a couple calls from the people who live down a private drive, down on
West Main Extension.
West Main Extension down there, I guess what you want to call it. They've asked to have their signs put back up, their address signs, it's been broken. And apparently there's some broken concrete down there also, so I'll get hold of the construction manager out there and see what we can do for them. Other than that, I think we got a real good job down there. And I want to thank everybody with their patience and their thoughts and their calls to me and the village office and everything. And I think that as a community, we've got a pretty good road out there. And I want to thank all of the public.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, new business, revocable license for land use, which would be the Cozy Corner Bar. What is the council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to approve the application by Cozy Corner Saloon for temporary outdoor sales of liquor on village property, subject to delivery of a signed revocable license for land use and payment of the required license fee. The village clerk is authorized to sign the revocable license for land use on behalf of the village.
Support that.
Moved and supported, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is Adobe Acrobat purchase for the village office computers. What is council's wishes? Do you need to address that at all?
Well, there's two options. One is to purchase, yeah, like one license we can put on 2 computers. One is to purchase the program for $449, or option 2, we can pay $14 a month. The benefit of going with the lease, or the $14 a month, $14.99 a month, is that the updates are all included in that. you know, when you buy it outright, and we're going with like, I think the 2017, we're not going with the newest version, because the newest version stores information up on the cloud, and we're just a little, you know, hesitant to do that, so we want to just stick with the 2000, I think it's 2017. But my suggestion would be to just go with $14 a month. It's gonna take 2.5 years to get to the $449, you know, so.
Maybe 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, well, my, you know, I'm not that great. But
I use
anyways,
my pencil to get there.
yeah, but that's my recommendation. But this helps us because we have a lot of forms that come through that we have to sign online, and we don't have Adobe. So.
Are you able to terminate it any time with the lease?
You know what, that I don't know. Becky did the research on this, so I'm not sure. I would assume so. I mean, I don't think we're gonna sign a perpetual lease for Adobe, you know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because some new shiny.
Yeah, and it will, so.
All right, what's council wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move to approve the lease of the 2017 Adobe Acrobat at a cost not to exceed $14.99 per month.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion?
And you get, is that for every office computer?
It's for
Joe?
two. No, it's for
Just
Becky
for
and I. Yeah, just for the most part. There's just things that come in that we can't do without it,
No,
you know, especially with road projects
feel
and
it.
with stuff like that. If we find that we need to add another computer later, we have to do another seat. But the way Becky explained it to me is one seat we can put on one lease or one purchase,
You
we
get
go on
two
to.
users.
Yeah, we get two users.
I think Becky's, if it's on Becky's, I think either of you two guys.
Right.
Whoever has the other copy.
Right, yeah, I'm not worried about it, so, but,
Sounds good. And I agree, I use it every day.
yeah.
All right, and yes, roll call because it's money.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes?
Suds,
Yes.
Lot.
Yes, motion carried. Next is the correction of approval minutes of May 13th.
Okay,
Michelle is.
let me explain.
Mistake, and she will explain it.
Yeah, actually Becky found it. We had approved minutes back in June for the May, actually I put it in. Yeah, anyways, we had approved minutes to go forward with S&P Global Rating to do our bond thing. It's a typo on my part. The motion in the minutes that were approved said $93,775. It's not $93,000. It's $9,375. So, I mean, we could have left it and just looked like, wow, we got a great deal. But because it's a ridiculous amount, I think that we should just
The right thing to do.
fix them and correct them.
This is more than right.
Yeah, so that's why it's brought to you, so.
Okay, what is council's
I
wishes?
would make a motion to approve a correction to the approved minutes of May 13, 2019, under engagement letter from Budzinski, is that Mr. Budzinski?
Benzinski, yeah.
Budzinski. To proceed with the SRF bond and S&P for a credit rating assessment. The motion reads to approve to go forward with S&P Global Ratings to complete credit assessment at a cost of $93,775. $93,775, I assume, yeah. And we will change the amount only to read $9,375. Dollars in there, but
Yeah, that's good.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, we don't have to have a roll.
No,
Just-
none of that.
Just-
We're not spending it.
Not spending 93,000.
So what is council's wishes, please?
motion's before the board, so
Yeah.
all in favor?
All in favor?
There you go.
Aye.
There you go. Okay,
Very good.
I'll leave this here for you to write it.
All right.
Yeah.
Up and coming agenda, any items?
We're gonna bring back the sign, that we were supposed to bring back to this meeting, for the church that wanted to put the sign, welcome to Armada area. I talked to Jeff, I wanted to wait for him to be here, so we're gonna bring that back to the next meeting. He'll be here at the next meeting, by the way.
So he's on vacation apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no citizens in the audience. Any council comments?
Good job on the park.
Oh,
This year, the concerts in the park, they were,
Yeah,
they were,
good
they were
concerts.
good.
Any community events that we want to announce?
That's percentage.
Start
It's
now.
coming.
That's coming in October. What's the dates?
Saturday, the 12th, and Sunday, the 13th of October.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be up at Alpena. I have no choice.
President Pro
kidding?
Tem can,
You're not, oh, I thought, are you kidding? Are you,
No,
you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Oh, okay.
gotta do what you gotta do, we
Yeah.
understand.
All right, Dave.
Dave, you need me to write a speech for you? or-
Oh, Dave.
We'll talk about this in the
Yeah.
future.
You bet.
Alright, so I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Time is 6:51. I move to adjourn.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.